keep talking. I think we're picking up something now.
It was to usually go to Warsaw for excitement.
Alright. So, yeah, no, now this shit's not picking up. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Talk.
I had a flimsy nightgown on. As soon as I came down to her gate, she said, "Get away from here, you dirty Jew!" Or are you deleting all the stuff except for...
Dirty Jew?
Yeah.
I did not, actually. I deleted nothing because I don't know how to use this shit yet.
Don't delete stuff.
I know. You want that raw dog.
Well, we keep the raw stuff and then we can edit it and release it, but you want to keep the raw stuff. Trust me.
No, I know. You want we're going to put together a montage. It's a montage. Hey, welcome to the latest episode of the Lazy Susans podcast. I'm Glenn Guinness.
And he just stuttered. I'm Dylan Walsh, and I never stutter. I'm really good at speaking. So, I'm a powerful male. I have a chiseled jaw. I have a chiseled chest. I have abs.
That aren't chiseled?
My abs are they're one of the more chiseled things about me. My calves are something to behold.
You do a lot of walking.
I have thick, hot legs, sexy feet. I've been told a lot.
Who's told you?
Wait. OnlyFans. My OnlyFans.
Oh.
Shout out to the Dillmeisters on OnlyFans telling me how sexy my feet are. And, nice fucking 6 3/4 inch dick. But thick. Fat.
And proportionally, you're only what? How tall are you? 5'5" on a good day?
I'm about 5'2". They actually, for a while, they believed that I was the first white pygmy, but we were getting all ready to file my teeth down into points, and I was gonna get into mandingo fighting and all sorts of shit. But no, it turns out I am Irish, so not the same as being a pygmy.
Black Irish.
Well, that's why they thought. They were like, okay, so the Spanish...
Who's they in this?
The trade... My cousins. A bunch of my cousins. We were fighting in a pit in the backyard.
With your cocks?
Cocks came into it, but, and they were like, "Dylan, we think you're a little pygmy. Right, we think that the Spanish trade and the plantation of Ulster... And so you're a pygmy, Dylan. We think you're a pygmy." And I stuck my fucking cock in his mouth, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm the dirtiest pygmy And that's been a family tradition. Every year we get together for Thanksgiving, and we pit fight, and I always stick my cock in my cousin Jesse's mouth. Shout out, cousin Jesse. I do have a cousin Jesse. And if he ever hears this, he'll be like, "Shut up, Dylan. You totally didn't stick your cock in my mouth."
Is that what it sounds like?
But I used to do this character called Mickey Albertson, which Jesse's last name is Albert. I took their last name for this character.
Right.
And Mickey Albertson, it was because I shaved my head once. And Mickey Albertson was like a skinhead that you could probably talk out of it. He was like
He wasn't really committed.
He was a non-committed
They were the
skinhead.
only people that were kind of cool with him, so he just kind of...
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like if it had gone a different way, Mickey would have gone into magic arts. But he happened to run into some skinheads.
Right.
And that's...
he wouldn't have gotten in that... he didn't go into prison with a Nazi tattoo, but he certainly came out of one with
a bunch. Right. Mickey's a follower like that.
Right, right. Well, he needed protection.
Yeah, he has a tattoo of some guy's name on his dick. And he's
walks
like,
that's
respect. That's respect.
Yeah.
But really, it was so that he only had to fuck one guy, and he wouldn't get jumped by the fucking Cullens.
You know what one of the nicknames for white gangs are in in prison? The Woods.
Peckerwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they own that shit, the Woods.
That makes sense to me.
It's kind of funny, right? Peckerwood's a great... Like, if somebody called me a Peckerwood, I wouldn't... Like, I mean...
Where does Peckerwood come from?
Who the fuck knows? And where does honky come from?
I think that it's like, because of the nasal voice, or honk, honk, honk. I think it's supposed to be... I think it's to refer to our voices. Although, as you can hear, I have this pleasing baritone. Got abs on my cock, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's I feel like a lot of ethnic slurs like make sense, but like some of ours just don't.
Yeah, but, well, I don't know what it I've heard explanations for it before, but I don't remember them. Basically.
Well, it makes you think like, okay,
like they say cracker is the crack of the whip. Well, or alternatively, I've heard that like more recent decoration is like, well, we're white bread, we're crackers, like the cracker one kind of makes sense.
Cracker makes sense. Well, cracker doesn't come
but
from
I don't know what the fuck
Peckerwood
is though.
But you don't you don't know
what's the deal with cracker?
Cracker's the whip.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
The crack of the whip.
When your hosts aren't
We're
listening.
We're on a podcast. You're supposed to listen.
When your host... there's going to be at least 17 points during this hour and a half long podcast where you're going to have zero idea what I said. Facts.
So, where do you think Peckerwood came from, though?
No, it conjures idea... Like, if somebody says they have a pecker, like, you immediately seem... Like, I think it's a small dick thing. But my brain...
You think that Peckerwood...
He's just
like, you have like a little woodpecker...
Yeah, like a little wood... That's
like a little needle... It's like saying needle dick.
Needle dick.
Or pencil... Hey, pencil dick.
Right.
Peckerwood.
That's the image
that gets conjured. That's probably it.
It's probably not it. But, like, it's what goes, you know... It's like one of those... I don't know. I'm thinking of a saying. Like, remember the other night I kept saying muted? Like, that the point's mute? And you kept... And we were in the middle of a... You gotta love it when somebody does this to you. We're in the middle of, like a verbal battle royale at an open mic. And, like, I keep saying it's a mute point. And I know it's moot. So he cuts in. He's like, it's fucking moot. It's moot. It's like, I'm angry, man. I'm not thinking about my grammar and my spelling.
You did not know it was moot.
Oh, of course I know it's moot.
Why would
Do I strike you as somebody who doesn't know that it's moot?
Well, you do when you say it's mute.
It's just, you say mute way more often than you say moot. It's just, I was angry and I wasn't thinking.
That's, okay.
That's,
if you say so.
I know it's moot.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I texted something actually earlier.
The only reason, I'll say the only reason I know it was because that was like one of my dad's favorite fucking jokes all through my childhood.
I'm sure.
It's a mute point.
Yeah.
Because my dad's a fucking lawyer, so all of his jokes had to be like clever wordplay. But it was a marriage of like wordplay and dad. Well, I guess a lot of dad jokes are wordplay.
Wordplay, yeah.
But I think he felt like it was above being a dad joke, but it really wasn't.
Well, actually,
it's a mute point.
Well, this is how I'll prove to you that I knew it. I mean, it doesn't really prove it, but like when somebody says.
This is how... I mean, it doesn't really, but...
I'm already shooting holes in my own
argument. Is this going
argument.
to be some Christian shit?
Christian shit.
Well, I can prove it, but I can't really prove it.
Oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah, I'm a streamer... Yeah. No. When I texted you...
Stuff like that makes me think that you don't know the difference between moot and mute.
Alright. When I texted you earlier, all for naught, right? I texted all... for not N-A-U-G-H-T, not N-O-T. Because that's what it is. It's all for zero, not all for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I mean, they both mean all for nothing. You know what I'm getting at. But it's not as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like the way the Brits say...
So you're saying that most people would have said all for not?
N-O-T? 100%.
I don't think most people are that dumb.
I think you vastly overestimate the intelligence of the average
I think most people know what not is. It was what we used to talk about the 2000s. They called them the naughties.
Dude.
Because of not.
let's go. Let's go.
I'm
Man up.
not.
Right? No, I get it.
How would you spell? Well, I was amazed at it actually when I was in NA, and people were trying to write shit like on the whiteboard.
Dude, people can't.
It wasn't directly NA. It was like an NA subgroup thing.
Yeah.
Like one of the hospital joints. But this guy was trying, like, the nurse was like, okay, now write this, and he was just so befuddled with the spelling. I bet he actually had, like...
Befuddled is another good word, just want to interject that.
Sort of dysfunction. He might have been dyslexic.
Okay.
Well, I have an excellent vocabulary, and that's something that everyone should know about me, is I have abs on my cock and an excellent vocabulary.
Little Dicky shout out for the ex-boyfriend video. But no, okay. Well, you'd be surprised how many people in the 12-step programs...
I like bullying fucking Glenn about English. This is my new favorite.
Well, no, it's a favorite thing.
This is my new favorite.
Dude, I love doing... My mom used to do that.
Part of the fun of it is that I don't actually think that you have a shitty vocabulary.
No, I know. That's why I'm liking that. That's why I'm not really taking it. You know?
I just I'm enjoying fucking.
Well, I'm easy to rise.
Be like, no, I know what the word is, dude.
I'm easy. I'm like a 12-year-old's dick. I'm easy to rise. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's not hard to get my blood pumping. But
we're like a 27-year-old's dick around.
All right,
toddlers. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you were going pedophiles or whores there, but I knew it was going to be one of the two.
Around ugly bitches.
Yes, what he said.
That's my favorite part. Do you watch? Have you ever seen? There's something. No, not something about Mary.
I was going to say
When Harry Met Sally.
You mean the sequel to Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail? No, sorry. Keep going.
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah,
my favorite line in the whole... I was watching it again. No, When Harry Met Sally is special. But my favorite line, they're talking and he's going, well, you know, dudes can't be friends with chicks because the sex part always gets in the way. And she says, well, what about the girls that you don't find attractive? And Billy Crystal goes, hey, you kind of want to nail them too. I was like, dude, truer words never spoken.
See, I got myself into trouble, like, saying something similar to that, like, to... So, I said that...
Get her in
right,
here.
We're going to stop
getting
dropping now. We're not moving to Texas yet, or LA, or whatever it is. Oh, we are going to do that dry run to Texas in a few months, so... if this podcast somehow makes it out of Providence by then, if anybody wants to catch the road show, we'll drop some.
Oh
dates
yeah, we'll drop some Texas dates coming up.
Yeah,
definitely
an open mic tour.
Best kind, dude.
Yeah,
strictly for the love.
Yeah, for the love of the game, like a midday,
if anyone wants to fuck us. I know I said that...
He said us. He meant him. Bless you. I think he's puking a little bit right now.
I was trying to go for another burp, but yeah, there was some puke.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Dylan just got a haircut for the first time in, I'm guessing, COVID. And
I have abs on my hair.
It's not. He has abs on everything, but with the blue, red, white, and blue.
I love the ways that the barber tries to not mention that you're balding.
Oh,
fucking.
You're like she was beautiful forehead.
She was no. She was literally going. She put all my hair down, and she's like, "See, like this, it kind of accentuates like
the widow's peaks
where your hairline." And she pulls it all back, and it's like. You put some product in it, you pull it back like that, fucking, that really makes everything look clean and fresh.
That's a thing.
It's like, I kind of knew that, but thank you for fucking...
Trying to make me feel better about my situation?
Yeah, thank you for... I actually...
You have a lot of hair.
My hairline is okay. I lose, like... I've lost, like, a centimeter in one place or another every year since I was, like, 17.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's just... It used to sort of form, like, a nice... It was receding on the sides, but it had, like, a nice, like, front piece. And now I'm seeing, just, like, little chunks of it are coming away. And I almost asked her, like, fucking, so what do you think about Rogaine? Do you think I could benefit?
Should I ask Sam Buck about this?
I just wanted her to be more honest with me. I almost was like, am I balding? Is it noticeable? But that's like a big fear for me, because my dad went like horseshoe bald by the time he was like my age.
Then you're probably... They say it's from your mom's side.
My mom's dad had hair until like his late 60s.
My grand...
He still has hair, but
Dude,
you get old and it gets wispy and shit.
Yeah.
But he went all through his still being a valid human years, he had hair.
Yeah. My mom, speaking of valid humans,
now he's like old and his skin hangs on his bones weird and he'll never listen to this, so...
Yeah, my mom was...
He's in that age.
My mom was talking...
I don't know, it's like...
It's,
You shouldn't have given me that... Dude, I'm already kind of manic, and then I drank that Monster, and now I just want to be annoying. Like, I genuinely feel like being annoying.
So you're saying that you need a monster to be annoying?
I am a monster to be annoying.
What was that joke that you said on stage the other night? The one that you made me go get your notebook for?
Oh, it wasn't worth getting the notebook.
No, I know, but wasn't it just like... I know my friends...
I forget. Dude, the thing was, I was like, I think I wrote some other shit. And then you went and got... It was just a paper, and I looked at it, and there was like one thing I hadn't mentioned and not done well.
Yeah.
And that was whatever I said. It was...
God, that was a weird...
We could drop in my fucking bomb from then. Now, oh, actually,
I had to follow you.
Actually, I didn't get any audio of that night.
Too bad, right?
No, usually, if I had the audio, I would say drop it in and let the people listen to me bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how I'll gain an audience.
What was nice about that night was that Dylan cut the line to...
I didn't cut the line!
The thing is he's like a foot shorter than everybody else that gets on stage, so nobody noticed his little ass getting up to the fucking...
Someone handed me the pen.
Someone just said,
Someone gave me the pen, and then I fucking for like 30...
You saw the line!
There was 30 seconds of No, I didn't see a line. I saw a
Shall I read back the text?
A rowdy group of people.
A rowdy group of people.
I saw a bunch of rapscallions from fucking Connecticut and Boston.
Pirates.
And I'm from Providence. I live fucking a block away from the club. And I was there on time. I was there before 6:30. And I decided that I was going to be on 12. Everybody can go fuck themselves. I don't care.
So, needless to say, Dylan thought he did me a solid that night, put me on, because I was standing in line for like 10 minutes to make sure that I didn't go up 30th that night. And Dylan did me a solid, and he put me up, like, when he got on. Right after, like, I get to follow him. And generally speaking, following Dylan when he kills sucks a bag of dicks. I've said, like, it does. But following Dylan when he bombs is even fucking worse.
I'm hard to follow.
It's hard, yeah. There's no middle ground with you. Like, you either kill or bomb.
I think even my bombs are as good as some people's good sets. It's just that people are so used to me completely leveling the place that when I bomb, it seems catastrophic.
Well, with the material that you
That's
do.
just how good of a comedian I am.
You did, you know what, for the first time in forever, I saw you actually pull out of a bit. I've never seen you pull out of a bit, but you pulled out of your bit about, like, about your ex-girlfriend getting molested by her stepdad, and as a result, you reaping the benefits of getting amazing blowjobs. You pulled out of that. I saw it. You started it, and then you stopped it and went to... You guys like smoking weed? You should try heroin. You pulled right out of it. Because you're like...
That is my most brilliant joke.
It's a great joke. It's a great joke. And
it's not a great joke.
Well, it's not like... Joke. It's a simple joke.
It just always works.
Sure.
Except for that night, it did not work.
Nothing worked that night for anybody.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a little bit of a rough sit.
I'm starting to like I only got I got the dumbest heckler. Like last time I got up there, I had like the little guy with no teeth come up to me and tell me about how he was, having a good heckle is sometimes great to just, inject some energy into the fucking place, because everybody can get around making fun of somebody.
Oh yeah, having a great heckle can turn a failing set into a victorious set if you master that heckle or
Yeah.
if you come back with something good.
Right.
So,
especially when 95%.
I wouldn't beat yourself up, man. Even my bombs are unfollowable, as we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm being like this.
No, it's all good.
The podcast got me gassed up,
Gassed up from the mouth.
I don't know. I really, honestly, caffeine affects me more than amphetamines. I feel like caffeine feels so much dirtier than amphetamines. Amphetamines makes me feel like a robot.
That's because you actually
caffeine makes me feel like a child that's just eating a bunch of chocolate.
Well, you pretty much are a child that's eating a bunch of chocolate.
Calling me fat?
No, I'm saying that you...
Because I've got abs on my dick.
Because you like sugar. 6-pack on my dick. It's like a punching bag. What was I going to say? So, I texted you this morning because I was going for a physical, right? And there's been a lot of feedback from the social media place because I threw it out there on Facebook in particular because I'm an old fuck and I don't use Instagram yet, really, for much ever, if anything. Should one trim their bush before they get a physical? What say you, Dylan?
I don't think that it makes a difference. Especially if you're going to see a male doctor. I'm sure that he's not thinking about it much. I mean, if it's really obvious that it's, fresh, then he might be like, is this for me, young man?
Yeah.
But I'm sure that he sees...
unkempt bush?
Unkempt and very well-kept bush all day. I mean, some of his clients are gay. You are 1 in 10, so he saw you and 9 other patients that day. Some of them probably also had their things for their girlfriends, but...
Right, well, see now, alright, I just feel like...
You're gay.
I feel like if somebody's gonna be forced to be eye level with my fucking, with my junk, I might as well make it...
You want to make it presentable
I want to make it presentable, picturesque, if you will. I'm not going in there with freshly shorn balls. That would be gay. If I went in there and I just shaved my balls, that would be weird. But just, trimming shit up, so... at least he'll ask me, hey, are you... this way he actually has to ask me if I'm sexually active. Because there's... if you go in there with just a completely fucking blown out bush, when you look like I do, he's not even going to ask if you're sexually active.
I was going to say, I've never trimmed my bush or balls.
Well, that makes sense.
And I am very sexually active.
Right, but I'm just saying...
I mean, it's slowed down a little lately, but I have my, my good months.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is, I feel like...
I haven't been on Tinder much.
Well, it's not like it's a question that gets asked, if she's over here to fuck you, she's not going to be like, oh, before we go any further, do you trim? That's not going to happen. So you're getting laid in spite of your bush. I don't think because of your bush.
No, it's not like I'm fucking going to the bar and being like oh,
you like bush?
Pulling my pants down a little bit and being like, ladies, look at this fucking low fro.
Yeah, I don't do anything, so that means you don't get to do anything. You know?
No, I expect them to be fully
bald.
Actually, I like.
You told me the other day you don't mind a bush.
I don't mind a bush to an extent. I don't like asshole hair. I don't like gooch hair, but on top of the pussy, even around like the upper part of the pussy is fine. And I love like a nice landing strip or a little tuft. Yeah, that's always nice. The last chick I was with had a little tuft.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was bushy, but she shaved it to just this little, a little thing that you could pet, and that was cute. I liked that a lot, and it was like, with the bald thing, I've never personally. It wouldn't have occurred to me unless someone had said like, "Oh, it's like being with a 12-year-old." Blah blah blah.
No,
but
it's not.
If you have a chick with a little tuft, it's like you're all woman, but it's still clean and contained and nice.
Right. No.
I think with men and women, the thing mostly with the hair is a cleanliness
100%.
thing, and also aesthetic. But I think most chicks care less about the aesthetics of our dicks as much as we obsess over it. They're more into, who we are as people, and we're more into like what their pussy looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's widely accepted that the penis and balls are not nearly as attractive as the vagina, correct?
I think most would agree on that.
Yeah. So,
I'm sure there's pretty dicks to people who appreciate that kind of thing. And, I've seen a pretty dick.
Or two. What?
I couldn't name it pretty dick, I don't think. But I'm sure that...
Peter North had a pretty dick.
I've definitely seen in porn been like, oh, but that guy has like a fucking crowbar. But I've never been like...
Wait, I gotta stop you there. By a what do you mean by
pretty, crowbar? It's long and curved.
Oh, you like a curved dick.
That's what I tend to notice is like, because what it is it's so strong, but and like firm, but also like a kind of a weird shape. So I'm like, oh, that's gotta be, that guy really has to maneuver. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I have a friend
as opposed to the straightforward, sort of club-shaped dick that most of us have.
Yeah, like a baby's arm holding an apple.
That's what the average dude has.
Right. Well, like I remember watching like an interview with somebody talk like a group of porn stars talking
babies.
About. I remember them talking about like their favorite dicks to work with. Because the men aren't really performers, right? And they were like, oh, Peter North had a wonderful dick. It was the perfect girth, length, not very veiny, just nice and smooth.
And he didn't have like a huge dick by porno standards.
Not
maybe at the time. But by today, I mean, there are huge dicks in porn these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, even John,
I feel like
Johnny Wad was that was a pretty Ron Jeremy.
He was around... Johnny Wad was... They said he never got all the way hard, though.
Right. Well, that's the issue.
They said that's another thing with how long it was.
Yeah.
They are not sure that they have any accurate measurements because nobody ever... He was on so much coke and shit.
Yeah.
That it... one performer, I remember saying it was like having sex with a 10-inch loofah. Because it was just,
yeah,
never fully hard.
Yeah, that's that. I guess. That's
Rest in peace, John Holmes.
Yeah, but like, I mean.
But yeah, Peter North definitely wasn't packing John Holmes wood. I think Peter North probably had like a good 7.5, 8 incher.
I'm gonna say 8.5. I'm gonna give him the extra half inch.
It wasn't anything crazy. He was known also for the
shot,
the wads.
Yeah, the shot. His shot was epic.
Yeah,
he could paint the wall.
What? And Ron Jeremy could count down to when he had control.
Yeah. You know, we're talking.
But Ron Jeremy probably had a bigger dick than Peter North, if I had to.
But his dick was hideous.
The two of them.
His dick looking burned.
And his dick also, as the gut grew, the dick became less impressive.
His dick had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Like, it looked a little too red and veiny, you know? Like, it just...
But can you imagine he would count down from 10, and on 1 would come. Can you imagine having that kind of control? I mean...
You're made for it at that point, right?
Heroin dick, fuck, that guy powered through, dude. Not that I don't think he ever did heroin, but...
What are the chances he didn't, though, really? Right?
Yeah, I don't want to say never did. He probably did it once in a while, but
those people that are able
to have that control, I'm sure that it wouldn't. He would have still fucking worked it out. At that point, he's controlling like the muscles that fucking. You know what I mean?
What I want to know is like how full was this control? Because like, could he start his countdown and the director goes, "I need 10 more seconds." And then go back to, like, go
I think
5,
so.
I need 10 more.
I
13,
think so.
12, 11, 10.
I think that he could sort of, like, shut the valve off.
And they say mutants don't exist.
So to speak.
They say, that's a...
I don't know how he trained himself. And maybe this is, like, K-Fab wrestling. Well, you've seen, he does it in a bunch of movies.
Oh, no, I'm sure, well, I mean...
But that's what I'm saying.
We'll fix that in post.
Who knows? But this was in the 70s also. Like, I don't know how much post they were doing on porno movies. And he also was known for sucking his own dick.
Well, that we don't...
Autofellatio. And I remember reading an interview with him in like 2007 or something. And he said because he had gained so much weight that he could only kiss the tip of his penis at this point.
If you could suck your own dick, would you?
I mean, I think you wouldn't.
I don't know.
Like I think that's not for mortal men to fucking comprehend, to think about.
But to
is it gay? The question is it gay?
That's right. Is it to completion? Would you spend?
I mean, I don't think. What if you're thinking about hot porno ladies while you suck your own dick?
You're still sucking a dick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that is for gods like Ron Jeremy to contemplate.
Well, apparently he contemplated and did. But the question is...
And you can watch it on video.
I'm good on that.
On Pornhub, it's easy to watch so many moments in history these days.
Yeah, I mean... I doubt we're really treading new ground here, but like that is really a question for the agent. Why is jerking yourself off less gay than sucking yourself off?
Well, that's the... if you're jerking yourself off, or is that gay? Obviously, we all do it, so we say no. Right. What's really the difference between using your hand and using your mouth?
A dick in the mouth. Ultimately, it's a dick in the mouth. That's the difference. You're just asking me what that's the difference. That's the difference. I feel like, well,
okay. So I'll ask you this question: have you ever, while you were jerking off, put a finger in your own ass?
Not since high school. Not since high school, because I was like, this isn't enjoyable at all.
But you've done it.
I tried it.
Okay, so if you sucked your own dick, is it gayer than putting a thumb in your own ass?
Is sucking a dick
inherently gay when it's your dick? I would say
it's okay because it's your
say
dog.
obviously not.
I can't fault your logic.
Also, I would say in 2021, who fucking cares? But we're going back to like 2003 conversations and going, is it gay?
It's still a valid question.
In 2021, nothing is gay or not gay. But in 2003,
sure,
if you suck your own dick,
shout out Elliot Page.
Is it? I would say no. It's not gay. But you still sucked a dick.
Well, this is like
that's where I would split it. This
is something
But you sucked your own dick, so it's.
Well, but this goes back to I forgot.
It's like a yin yang symbol, man.
No, I understand
like
the physics
infinity.
of it. I get the physics of it. But like, I mean, this goes back. I forgot what movie or whatever this is from, but my dad used to say this all the time. He's like, "There's no such thing as a bisexual man. You either suck dick or you don't suck dick."
Well, that actually is a Andrew Dice Clay quote.
Can you say his name for me again?
Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew Dice Clay.
Emphasis on the dice.
Andrew Dice Clay said, "I don't understand bisexuals. You either suck dick or you don't."
Right.
That he could have been quoting like a street thing, but I would be willing to believe that came from him largely. That's how it was disseminated.
It passes the sniff test.
And yeah, that was Andrew Dice Clay said, "I don't understand bisexuals. You either suck dick or you don't."
So, does your own dick not qualify?
So by that standard, Ron Jeremy is bisexual, but I don't think he would care. I think he's fucked trannies too.
Sure
honestly,
has. Eddie Murphy has.
And a bunch of those dudes did gay porn in the
Peter North came up as a gay
70s and
porn.
80s.
As a gay porn guy.
Peter North was a dude who I believe straight up was like, "I've gotten as much pussy as I could ever want in my life. I'm going to trannies."
I don't remember.
I think
you're behind the asshole on VH1. I did not catch that episode, but
it was him or I believe it was Peter North. Although Rocco Siffredi may have also, or not Rocco Siffredi, the guy who was Rocco Siffredi's like patron, like his mentor.
He did have a mentor, and unfortunately,
Rocco Siffredi. Who's Rocco Siffredi's mentor? Have you seen the documentary
I know
on Rocco
who his mentee
Siffredi?
is. I know who his mentee is. His mentee is Manuel Ferrero.
Nacho Vidal.
Oh, was Rocco's mentor?
I think maybe.
Okay.
I think Nacho Vidal, or may have been another one of his mentees. But yeah, Manuel Ferreira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. No, that's not Manuel. That's Rocco. Yes, you like. Yes, just a little in the ass. Give me your ass.
I don't know. Dude, I honestly missed, like, there are male porn stars I recognize, but I missed the age of there being, like, male porn stars. I remember a few female porn stars, because they hung on for a little longer, because now it's all, like, anonymous, just general porn girls.
For the most
There's
part.
no stars anymore because the free sites have made it so that to make any money they go into other avenues. They do cam stuff or OnlyFans, all that.
They're all only going to do OnlyFans now. They get paid so much more.
I was around for like the last dying gasps of the DVDs and stuff, but by that point they weren't selling it on the dudes. So I can remember
I don't think they ever really sold.
I can remember, but I can remember the dudes. Well, yeah, they would. They would. It would be a doc or a DVD, and it's like Rocco Siffredi's blah blah presents, and it would be like him fucking a bunch of chicks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was how those guys made their money. But by the time that I knew who any of those dudes were or saw any of that shit, I would have just been like, oh, I recognize him, whatever. But it would have been a secondary thing because all I saw was like scenes that people had ripped that were on Pornhub or whatever.
Right.
Or even earlier than that. Some of the, you know. But, you want to pause that for a sec? I gotta take a piss. How much time do we have?
And we're recording again.
Fuck it. You didn't take me playing golf sometimes, yeah. Sometime.
Do you know how to play golf?
No.
We'll get you to the driving range, and then we'll...
You need to bring me to the driving range sometimes.
You
need to bring me driving sometimes. I haven't had a driving lesson in so long.
I know. Well, I mean, between the podcasting and the stand-up and the rides and the monsters, like, it's difficult to find the time to...
I need you to devote your life to me.
I know you do. I'm not willing to make that commitment. I've been married.
That's what podcasting is. It's a marriage.
It is not a marriage. If it was a marriage, I wouldn't do it.
Okay,
you know what my favorite...
I have AIDS, you need to have AIDS too.
Dylan Walsh, everybody. Dylan Walsh. No, you know what my favorite part about getting divorced was?
What?
At the hearing, because this is pre-COVID, they go at the very end, they're like, now, you can't get married again for another 90 days. Like I'm trying to run back into that burning building. You know?
How many people get married to the same person after 90 days?
After 90 days?
After that 90 days.
After that 90
how many people run back together?
I know a few people that have
I guarantee it's not zero.
No, it's definitely. I know people.
I guarantee it's a percentage, right?
Right. You know my pretentious friend that lives out in Denver that I talk about, the kid who went to rehab for cigarettes.
The ski guy?
Yeah. Boo this man.
Fuck. Went to rehab for cigarettes.
Yes.
Have you told that story on the podcast? You need to talk about that guy.
We should talk about.
Don't use his name, but talk.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's the
guy.
Of all the name drops that we have, he's the one that would matter the least. But you're right.
All right, drop his name. Fuck him.
His name's Drew. Okay, he lives out in Denver.
Last name?
That I won't do.
Okay.
That I won't do because he is trying to be a professional. You know, he is still in the financial advising world. He was my original mentor.
We'll find him.
He was my original mentor at State Street when I got out of college.
Susans, find
this
him.
Man. Yeah, find this man and boo him for going to rehab for cigarettes.
Talking to all the fucking lazy Susans out there. Is that what we're calling our podcast audience?
The Susans?
The Susans?
I feel like that's got to be what we call them, right?
Alright, Susans. Find Drew.
Hey, comment below if you think if you want a better name.
Don't do anything fucked up to him. Just set his house on fire. Murder his kids. Stuff like that.
No kids, luckily. No one's had children with this kid. Although he wants to have them.
Go punch him real hard in the nuts.
He has long nuts. This is a kid who used to sit on his balls. He's actually about the same. Every now and again, you'd hear a yelp come over from the Bloomberg terminal, you know, and like you'd be like, "Oh, Drew sat on his sack again."
How?
They're just he's skinny. And he doesn't have the thigh issues that we do. So he's
asking
not
you this specifically.
Yeah.
And genuinely.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get some more fucking SAT words in there. Because I'm so fucking smart, you guys.
He needs to
Do you think Annoying Dylan will be like... Do you think the audience will like Annoying Dylan?
Does anyone like Annoying Dylan? It is somewhat endearing sometimes, but like all things with Dylan, he goes a little too far with it.
Man. I want to touch your mom's boobs.
Alright, can we stay on topic for once?
Do you think he could put his balls in his ass?
Yes. I will ask him he called while we were shooting this, so I will ask him that question.
You should have gotten him on the phone so we could ask him that question.
I don't know if that...
Do you want to call him back?
I don't know if we should. Maybe on the next episode of Lazy Susans, we'll bring on Long Ball Drew and ask him about whether or not he can shove his balls in his own ass.
Drew BB. Drew BBs.
But yeah, no, he loves to drop skiing analogies. He loves to drop skiing because it's the whitest shit ever. He's
fucking Glenn comes to me like 2 months ago or whatever.
Probably longer than that.
And goes, "Hey, I'm working on this joke." It's like, Don't you hate people that use skiing analogies? It's like, fucking, we can't drive today. And they're just going, looks like you brought out some fucking silicone fiber when you needed iron. Or whatever the fuck skiing shit is, I don't know.
Well, I'm about to tell
And
you.
I go, Glenn, nobody knows what fucking skiing analogies are.
So, but then I explained it, because these aren't hard to get. Because he goes, hey man, like, I started talking to this chick on Tinder. She's really into me. I think I might have gotten out over my skis on this. And I'm just like, really? That's the turn of phrase that you chose to use? And then the other day...
Ugh.
Right, I know.
Another SAT word. Gay.
Yes. 1 syllable, 3 letters.
Gay.
Gay. And,
Fag.
also 3 letters and 1 syllable, meaning a bundle of sticks. But, that said...
I don't think
fag
by
I think the OT... Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh, do you know what they...
But I'm going by the double G. I can say fag, but I cannot say...
VOT.
Gut.
Good.
Yeah, almond gut.
Or
Oh my god, I just got Schindler's List.
That's funny. But he also dropped another one. We'll get it. We'll get into that in a second. We'll delve into that therapy session next. But he goes the other day. He's describing, because he's trying to start his own financial advisory firm, as all trust fund kids are, and he goes. He's trying to describe something that I really just don't give a fuck about, but I'm driving, so I don't feel like listening to the radio or another podcast, so I'm just listening to him. But I pick up on this.
Hey, does this hat look cuter now that I got a haircut?
Maybe. It covers that forehead. But he goes...
Yo, my forehead has abs, bro.
What is with the abs, bruh?
Fucking... Nothing, not good.
Is this your way of deflecting from, like, being forced to look in a mirror for, like, a half hour while someone cut your hair?
It really bothered me a lot.
yeah, no, it does.
I really didn't like it.
This is why, like, Dylan's always trying to show me pictures of me, and I'm like, I don't need reaffirmation of how I look. That's what, you know what? I think Dylan taking pictures of me is what's led to, like, the latest round of, like, self-deprecating humor that I've been trying on stage.
We gotta...
Lose weight?
Let's go to the gym after this.
I go to the gym every day, and it doesn't matter because I eat like dog shit.
I'm going to the gym after this.
You know what's funny? When I got my physical today, they were like, "You look like you work out, and you're not in bad shape." And I was like,
I feel...
Who are you looking
like
at? I was like, who are you looking at? Like...
No, you're thick... You
gave me a massage the other day.
You need to get into, like, the thick boy squad shit. Because you do look like you work out. You're just... You're
I just
thick
eat
boy.
too much. Yeah,
you're a thick boy.
Yeah.
It's not even that you eat too much. You're just...
I'm a big
You're
boy.
built like... Like you...
Like a strong man.
If you were black, you could have maybe played football.
Right. Yeah.
Because you would have been like 4 inches taller, and you know.
Yeah.
But you're
Dutch and Polish.
You look Dutch and Polish.
Yeah.
You look like if you would have just been Polish, you would have looked like some Chicago fucking. But you got the Dutch in there, so you have fine features. You have fucking little hands.
That's the Polish side.
It's a problem.
I agree.
No, Polish people have big hands, big shoulders. You gotta go out to Chicago sometime.
Yeah, we should do Chicago.
The city of way too many nicknames.
Next trip, Chicago.
Done deal.
Chicago and Toronto. You have a passport, right? I'm assuming you're a rich kid.
I don't think I can go to Toronto because I slap bitches.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
He doesn't really mean that. He just had a prior issue with a psychotic girl that got him in trouble.
Couple of prior issues.
Like Deshaun Watson. Which, I'm going to talk about this knowing full well that Dylan has zero fucking clue what I'm talking about. But you will be able to comment on the peripheral nature of what I'm about to say. So Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the of the Houston Texans, and he wants out of there. Now, the Texans have had a track record of trashing players that try to force their way out of town. Okay? Now, over the last week and a half, like, I think, and especially over the last couple days, I think like 12 girls have come out as masseuses that he's worked with in the past and accused him of some sort of sexual assault. Okay?
Masseuses?
Masseuses. Girls that massage.
I'm saying, here's the thing, is I want to be a masseuse, and if I ever got contracted to go and massage a football player, I would assume that he was trying to fuck me.
Right.
Now,
but
I would try to deflect and just do my job and leave.
Right.
Or, charge a lot more. But,
right.
If you're a little pretty girl and you go to massage a foot... Wow, this is sounding fucked up coming out of my mouth already. But I do believe that a lot of... I think that, I think it's fucked up, but I think that sometimes people see a payday, for lack of a better term, and they go, well, someone's accusing him. He was a little shitty to me. Why don't I try to get in there?
It's shades of Andrew Cuomo.
Maybe he did. I'm not saying that this guy's innocent. He's probably not. I'm sure that he's been a little fucked up at least a couple of times for shit to be coming at him like this, but it's possible not.
Well, here's the deal. Now, this is where I get, really skeptical.
I don't know anything about sports.
Right, but this isn't really about sports. This is about the circumstance that this guy finds himself in. So, here's the deal. There's one lawyer from Houston who's filing a class action. Nothing's been filed with the DA's office for charges, right? Nothing's been filed criminally. And he announces the case information on Instagram. So, what I'm saying is how credible is this situation? How credible is this situation? If your lawyer is just using Instagram to fucking build a court of public opinion.
What I'm going back to is, John Travolta had some problem with masseuses back in the day.
The bathhouses, yes.
Well, no, masseuses. Masseuses saying that he would come, or they would come to the thing, and he was, trying really hard he was, sticking his ass up in the air, and all this shit.
Yeah.
If you're going to massage John Travolta, number one, you gotta assume something weird's gonna happen already.
Yeah.
So maybe you go, maybe nothing will happen, you take the job. He's sticking his ass up in the air, then you go, hey, I'm leaving, and you probably shouldn't keep trying this because eventually someone's going to go to the police. You didn't hurt me in this situation, but this shit is fucked up, and if I hear anything else about you doing this shit, I will fuck it. And I guess that's what maybe happened in this situation to 12 girls, but
maybe.
I don't know. Man, it's really hard to fucking pick a side with this shit.
It is. It's, I guess,
because I don't not believe it happened, but I also go, the kind of masseuse chicks that would probably... Dude, it really depends. I would need... you know what? I'm speaking out of school. I would really need, more information on this. Because, are these chicks that are coming and massaging him... are they sent by the NFL?
No.
Are they independent chicks? Are they... What kind of massage place are they from? If they're from a rub and tug, then you're going to expect a rub and tug. But if they're from, a regular massage thing, and he was just oh, I'm a football player, so obviously you're going to suck my dick, then, yeah, he's kind of fucked up for that.
He slid in... So this is where it comes in. Apparently... These girls were advertising their services on Instagram, and he slid into their DMs asking for massages.
Yeah, I don't know.
You need more information. That's mine. This is my cynical side.
My initial thing, because, and this is what's wrong with all this false accusation shit, is all of these false accusations. 2 or 3 years ago, I would have immediately probably looking at like, well, these girls are probably telling the truth, and shit's fucked up. This guy's probably a dick.
But the oversaturation.
But the fact that there's been so many problems, and this is what people said was going to happen.
The boy who cried wolf.
Makes me go immediately to like, well, why are they they're trying to set him up? So between the two, I like you said, I don't have enough information.
No, none of us do.
But the fact that even without that information, I immediately was like, this sounds like a setup. It might not be at all. In fact, I would hope that it probably isn't, if this is the type of shit
for
that's
society
getting
as a
involved.
whole, I would agree with you.
So, I don't know. It's all fucked up, man. I hate the way that this shit is today.
I agree. It's just...
And that's speaking as somebody who can't get into Canada, and that has affected my shit because,
although you're pretty...
I was in a fucked up situation with that.
Right.
And where things were way misrepresented, and the fucking,
Yeah, and now as a result...
wasn't willing to risk my whole fucking life to, I settled because I didn't want to destroy my whole life, and settling seemed like an option.
And now we're going to have to sew you into the backseat of Chris's car in order to smuggle you into Canada.
And it's over some bullshit that 20 years ago would have been dealt with between
private parties.
People.
Yeah.
Between, I could have spoken to this girl and our families could have spoken, and it would have been something we could have dealt with. That's the main thing that I'll always fucking hate that girl for. Or not hate, like, as years go by, I understand more her position and how she must have felt. But I do go like, man, if she were to just talk to me for a second, I didn't know that there was a fucking problem. I didn't know what I was being arrested for. I assumed it was some drug shit. The whole time that I was fucking in holding, everything, for fucking 24 hours. They did not. They didn't tell me. They were like, you should know. And fucking, when I got into the fucking thing, they were getting ready to let me go. Someone had brought my bail and everything. And they looked at my papers and they were like, oh, he's fucking 2 days away. She knew I was 2 days away from being let go on a filing. And she intentionally sent the police after me right at the end of that filing so that all of these charges would stick. Shit that I would have been done with. And the fucking sergeant looked at the shit and was like, this is a fucking burn case. She's trying to fuck with him.
Yeah.
I heard him say that shit. But that's what it is. They were like, we gotta keep you. I went. My fucking lawyer was like, this shit can get ugly. If you can go. You can get free today. If we do this fucking, you have to do some classes and whatever. And get out of here. And, by the way, all this shit's always going to be on your record. Or you can stay in jail for, he said it'll probably be at least 6 weeks. And by the time that it gets to court, this shit might get bumped up. Now, what I didn't know was that between me getting locked up and Thanksgiving, so basically like a week and a half, the girl who sent me away was in 2 different psychiatric hospitals. Fucking, if I ever have some money, I will go back and deal with those cases again.
This could be a whole episode of Lazy Susans, just because, like, we're kind of talking this.
But I'm just, that's all I have to say right now.
Right.
But
well, for our listeners, like, that don't know the story, like, it's going to be something that's...
There's a lot of twists and turns.
A lot of twists and turns, and we kind of just jumped in. Here's a Latin
But that
phrase
affects the way that I see court cases a lot.
Understood. As every... oh, yes, that makes perfect sense. Like my mom affects how I view women in general. right?
How could it not?
Right? How could it not? These are life-forming events. Shout out Gavin, you piece of shit. Yeah, you know what pisses me off more? I just always assume the worst, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on. Dylan has what's known as a... But yeah, no, it's a guy who sent in a submission to Survivor. He was trying to be on Survivor. And he sent in one of those, whatevers. Is that a cider? That's not a beer, right?
It's a cider.
Okay, I was gonna say.
You never wanted to be on Survivor, man?
Not enough to send in a home video of me, eating dog shit.
I never wanted to be on Survivor because I didn't want to stop doing drugs for that long.
That's something that did go through my mind as well. Like, I watched a couple episodes of Lost, and I really identified with the kid who lost his fucking dope. You know? You imagine being on it.
I never saw Lost. So
I only watched a little bit of it, but there was one character, he was one of the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. I forget which one, Merry or the other gay one.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing that he was on Lost.
Right.
Was it Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
Lord of the Rings.
The dude who's in Lost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in Lost, and he was a heroin addict.
And he lost his...
He either lost his dope in the plane crash or he found it, but I can't exactly remember.
Ran out. He didn't have any dope.
Yeah, he ran out though. Being stranded on a desert island, going through
withdrawals. Oh man.
I mean, I could think it's not like you have anything to do, but at the same point, there'd be a lot of ocean shits happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someday you're gonna get to go through withdrawals again. Aren't you looking forward to that? Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna nurse you like a little baby raccoon. By the way, raccoons are legal in Rhode Island, and I want to get one.
Dude, I'm telling you again. I had a friend who had a raccoon. It was super fat. It was gross, and it had the eyes of hatred. It was scary. Don't get a raccoon. They're fucking hateful little animals. They're not like a cat. It's not fun. If you're gonna get a weird animal like that, get a fox.
I would get a fox.
Well, they've made foxes that can live in houses now. I still think that's a stupid idea, but...
Foxes is the plural, right? If we're gonna, bookend this with some English.
I think it is, fleet foxes. I think that, yeah. Foxes.
I feel like it should just be fox, but...
Well, I think that it might also change, some people say fish, some people say fishes.
Yeah.
Fishes of the sea.
Like tuna?
That's the biblical term. Well, no, that's chicken of the sea.
Thank you. There was an old Jessica Simpson reference.
Is it chicken or tuna?
Yeah. They do make canned chicken, though.
It's pretty good.
I've had it.
Yeah, I don't mind canned chicken.
No, you know what I've done?
I actually might go buy some chicken breast tonight, because I had my last burger at Wendy's today, and I'm trying to go all, chicken,
broccoli,
fresh cooked potatoes,
with THC,
rice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was the frustrating. Should we talk about our medical experiences today?
We can.
Yeah, briefly. So as discussed, I was having a come to Jesus moment over my bush this morning as I got out of the shower, getting ready to go to a physical. I forgot to ask this question real quick. Have you ever asked a girl to shave her butthole? Because it's really distracting if everything else is trimmed up and the butthole is not.
I'm not gonna lie, I did.
Yeah, I felt you did.
The girl that eventually pressed charges on me.
That's
I did get her to nair everything.
Now we know why she pressed charges.
She nared it. Is there any less of a committing? It's no pain for your fucking...
That burns like a motherfucker.
Does it really?
Have you never nared anything?
Why didn't you just shave it or wax it then?
Probably because she thought it would hurt.
Because she was a scared little girl.
Do you know how weird it is to just like rub your hair off?
She was like 21 years old.
And you don't do it on that
Her
skin.
family just treated her like a child.
When you get a chance, just throw some Nair on your balls. See how it feels.
I will.
Please do.
You know what? I will. I'm going to
a
do it,
start.
and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to bring it to court.
Yeah. No, you don't do it on the sensitive areas. As a swimmer, I know what it's like to shave pretty much every part of my body.
Do you have to shave your dick and balls as a swimmer?
You don't have to, but
Does it help?
Do you know how weird it would be to have no hair anywhere except for your dick?
Does removing the hair really help that much?
With swimming?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Or does it just feel better while you're in the water?
There is an aspect of it that is a psychological aspect of it. What shaving... Have you
You're
ever...
just like,
what was
I'm a manatee.
Now, girls will be able to get this, especially during quarantine, because I'm sure they go a long time without shaving now in between. But when you shave your legs or you shave your head, you're taking off like or at least it feels this way. You're taking off like the first level of like nerve endings almost, like it's like kind of numb. Like if you shave your legs tonight, shave one of your legs, go into bed. Go into bed. You won't be able to feel the sheets on the leg that you shaved. So there's.
I'm just saying that's not how nerve endings work.
The first
But
layer of dead skin.
I can see it being a. Well, dead skin doesn't feel anything.
Okay, so there's nothing pulling on the skin because there's no hair.
That I can see much more so.
Okay.
And I've shaved like my arms and stuff. I've shaved my lower legs before to get tattoos.
Right.
I've shaved my chest to get tattoos.
Shave a whole
Or
cat.
to test the sharpness of blades.
So,
I've shaved stuff.
When I was coming up swimming, they didn't have
But then
like...
you end up with scabs and stuff a lot.
So the evolution of swimming, like when I was coming up, was pretty much everybody wore Speedos, like when I was coming up, and then but like for like big meets, you'd wear these things called paper suits that were super thin, super tight.
I was on the swim team
Okay.
when I was younger, and
Where like Sherlock or something.
Sherlock, exactly.
Yeah.
And we wore Speedos.
Right. So, but then as we got older, I'd say around like 98, 99, 2000, they started coming out with those full body suits. Like the suits that came up over your shoulders, went all the way down to your legs.
Actually, I take that back. The like older kids wore Speedos.
Right.
They actually did have like shorts, but shorts that would like
jammers.
hug your.
Yeah, they're called jammers.
So that it wouldn't. They weren't like billowy. They were
No, they were tight. They were like
tight. So I think actually, as I was like a younger kid, I would have been in like late elementary, early middle school. I think I wore those most, but the older kids definitely wore Speedos.
Well, what we wore were drag suits, which were like.
And I remember my friend Tristan, who got into swim team earlier than me,
Yeah.
he wore a Speedo.
Yeah.
But I think that the younger kids stopped wearing Speedos like around the time I joined.
Yeah, most of the time that's the case. But but when you were wearing just like the jammers, which are the real tight ones that go down to your knees, like
That's I think what we had, yeah.
yeah. But not to get too deep into it, but like for like championship meets, you had a different type of suit that was like more water repellent, basically. It lost like they were like $200 suits, $300 suits. They were very expensive, and you only wore them for the big meets. So
you would train in the shittier stuff,
Yeah.
and then when you went for the meet, you were like, oh, that's a few seconds off already, because I'm in the really nice suit.
you're in the good suit that's a little more buoyant and yada yada yada.
Like did you ever do baseball as a kid? Fucking, they would always have you swing the bat with the weights on it.
Yeah, with the weights on it.
And then when you went out...
Same idea.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah,
Same idea. You're making it harder for yourself while you're training, which is when you're building, yada yada yada. And then when you get to the meets, you're optimized. Unlike our audio, usually. But that said, the shaving was more important when there was less material for the suits. Okay? So, like, when I was swimming in college, we wore what basically looked like leotards, but, like, cut off, like, you know, they were like girls.
Almost like a surf suit.
Yeah, but no arms. No arms. They would cut, like, your shoulders were exposed and your arms were exposed. So, like, at that point, like, you're really... Is the shaving of the legs that important?
You wouldn't have had to shave anything that was covered by the suit.
I mean, you still did because, like, it just made it easier to get the suit on and off because those things are fucking tight.
That makes sense, yeah.
And there is still, like, a feeling aspect of it. Like, you do feel a little bit, like, you don't feel the water quite as much either. But it was more important when we were only wearing the Speedos.
And I can imagine it being a psychological thing. Like, I'm getting ready to swim, I'm removing the hair, I'm becoming a dolphin. Yeah. And you get out there and you're like, I am ready for this.
I don't know how interesting this is to, like, a lot of people, but, like, it is, that was the... Like, only freshman year of college did I have to shave my head. I did shave my head a few times in, like, my senior year of senior year of high school, freshman year of college. I shaved my head, and then after that, I get a big dome.
You would shave your head to swim?
Yeah, because I overheat.
You wouldn't put a swim cap on?
I didn't like wearing a cap because I felt like I overheated.
I remember watching, I think it was the Olympics in like 2004 or something, and all the girls had caps, and then one girl had a completely shaved head.
Yeah.
And it was because either she had had cancer.
Yeah.
I think that was what she was like. I had cancer when I was younger, and I started shaving my head while I was swimming.
Yeah.
And then she, like, kept it up, and, like, her whole family had their heads shaved and all that.
Well, that's
but if we look back at, like, I think it was Athens.
Okay.
That I remember there being
2004.
One girl with a shaved head. Yeah. And I think it had something to do with cancer, but...
What's funny about the Athens, the Athens Olympics was, no.
That would have been right in the middle of when you were doing it, right?
That was at the very end. Because I was in college till 2005 swimming for UMass. Although I did quit my junior year because I'd rather just do drugs and not. I hated it. I hated it by the end.
How's my sty looking?
I don't even notice it. What sty? No, really, like, it's basically gone. I mean, it's been there for like a month. But, I, like, not to name drop anybody, but, I did get to swim at the same meet as Phelps before he went to his first Olympics in,
oh, really?
Sydney. Yeah,
You swam with Phelps?
I did for a minute. And that's
literally a minute.
Well, technically a little over 2 minutes, because his best event was my best event. I was a 200 butterfly. And, and that was his.
Butterfly is a little harder, right?
Butterfly is harder for most, yeah. The 200 fly was for whatever reason.
You look like you're built for butterfly, though.
Yeah, it was in the fucking family. Like, it just was. My dad was a butterflyer. My sister had the state record in the 100 fly in high school here.
Fucking.
So, like, it just.
Glenn's got fucking a 6-pack in each of his armpits.
Yeah. My delts.
Doing the butterfly.
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? Swimming is not kind to girls' bodies, though. It's not. Like, my sister used to have to get, like, size, like, 14 dresses tailored down to, like, a 4.
Oh, because she was all jacked.
Yeah,
like, her upper body was all jacked
her shoulders are so fucking wide, yeah.
Like, so even if they had, like, fat tits, they would look all, like, pushed to the center, like...
Yeah, it just
jacked on top.
Yeah, yo.
It's like fucking, not to say anything bad about, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey.
She swam.
She's a beautiful... I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful girl, but her upper body is so built. You're like...
Yeah. Very punchable face. Very punchable face.
Well, and she also comes across as mean or whatever. But I remember her... She single-handedly made the women's division of the UFC watchable. Her and Chris Cyborg also, but...
Watchable, yes. Although I did enjoy watching Gina Carano for a while there.
Well, I love the women's division. I mean, there's a lot of talent now, but at the time that for Cyborg and especially Ronda Rousey sort of like
I'd love to see some
exponentially grew the. I would love to see like the graph of how many people were watching women's UFC, and then you would definitely see like the Cyborg bump, and then the Rousey just like mountain.
Yeah.
You know
what I kill to see?
What?
Fucking like heavyweight women. Like 180 pounders. You know?
Hardcore.
Like just like
built.
Big. Just
Well, Chris Cyborg was.
She was a big girl, but no, I'm talking.
Could have probably fought at least like 160.
I'm talking like biker bitches.
Yeah, it would be cool to
I just love to see that for some reason.
see a female fucking Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, or like I'm trying to think who's more like a Butterbean.
Or a female, but that's. But Butterbean wasn't a great fighter, ultimately.
He
was a great brawler.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to face
Take a
off
punch?
against him,
No.
but ultimately when he got in the ring, he wasn't that successful.
No. Well, he did okay for a big fat guy.
Yeah, and he might have done better in straight boxing.
Well, no, I'm saying he was a straight boxer.
Butterbean wasn't Butterbean in MMA?
No, maybe he did, but like he was a boxer. He was a boxer back in like the 90s, early 2000s. Corey, look that up.
Maybe I might be confusing him with Tank Abbott. But I thought Butterbean fought in UFC, or if not UFC, in like
Oh, he did do it. He did do mixed martial arts.
in UFC or in. I'm trying to think of what.
We're looking at him right now, just to keep everybody.
Professional boxer, kickboxer,
I don't know what he was kicking.
Pride. There we go.
He's a Pride fighter.
Let me just see. Yeah, so professional boxing, 77 wins, 58 by knockout. So he had a pretty stellar boxing record.
I mean, he
10 losses, 4 draws. Kickboxing, he's got 3 wins and 4 losses. So there we go.
Yeah, he's not much of a... Yeah,
Mixed martial arts, 28 total, 17 wins, 10 losses.
And by mixed martial artist standards, like, not a whole lot of those guys retire with, like, ridiculous winning records.
Mixed martial artists are often spottier. Oh, he had towards the end, he did have a couple of, like, nice streaks towards the end there.
I was going to say, the guy could take a kick to the stomach, that's for fucking certain.
But what... I want to know what
Right.
he...
Let's,
He had K1 and Pride fighting, so... Yeah, he did fight a lot in boxing,
established.
and, yeah, I guess K1 and Pride. I had thought that he might have been in the UFC
In the early years?
at some point, but yeah, I don't think that he was.
No, but wouldn't it be great to see a chick that looked like that? Like two, square off?
Tank Abbott was in the early UFC years, and he was a big, fat, fucking drunk guy. So yeah, female Tank Abbott, female Butterbean.
Yeah, just fucking square up. That would be fucking great.
And Tank Abbott wasn't a professional boxer. Tank Abbott listed his fighting style as like street fighting or something.
Right.
Because he was like a bouncer. I think he might have won like some world's toughest bouncers.
Like, could two fatties like that even get top control on each other?
I think we see they both mostly focused on striking.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, because like rolling around on the ground.
Yeah, I think if a Gracie had gotten wrapped around either of those dudes,
would have been very difficult.
I think that's why Tank Abbott and Butterbean, as we're seeing, were not as successful in mixed martial arts. when they were just punching another dude and the dude punching them, they knocked the guy out a lot.
Yeah.
But as soon as someone was going, I'm going for your legs.
But it's gonna be tough to get a fucking, chokehold on that. There's no neck.
But you don't need to get a chokehold if you can fucking...
Yeah, do the arm bars and everything else.
Chicken wing their fucking arm behind their back and
Right.
make them go, what the fuck? Fuck, tap. You know?
Well, I'm gonna guess that's probably how they lost most of the bouts that they lost. And I don't feel like looking it up right now, but I'm going to when we get off the air.
That would be interesting how many knockouts they got against them in mixed martial arts.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess there were a lot of arm
Although I
and
think
leg
Tank
submissions.
Abbott got knocked out in striking a couple of times.
I'm sure it's happened, but it would be it'd be interesting to
I don't know.
to fact check.
I like MMA a lot, but I'm definitely talking out of school. I don't know that much about it.
No, neither do I.
So I'm definitely talking out of school.
I'm more of a Sweet Science fan myself. I'm a boxing guy. If I were to classify myself,
I love both, but I would say I probably know more about boxing and more about classic boxing.
I know
than
way more
MMA,
about the history of boxing than MMA.
But
Because the guys stick around a lot longer.
either one, my knowledge is somewhat.
Isn't there a UFC fight
I'm very much an amateur fan. You know,
I'm an amateur fan of both, but I could never be one of those guys with a fedora and a cigar talking about who's better, Rocky Marciano or Canelo Alvarez.
well, nobody could be that guy past 1997.
Right. I mean, that's like being an expert horse race better. It's
They exist today still, but
yeah, it's a real niche industry. Boxing. I love boxing though, I do. I love watching a good boxing match. And that's one of the reasons I hated Floyd Mayweather, because all his fights were shit.
that's what everybody always says. Is his fights are boring. But,
They are, because all he did was just.
but he's undefeated.
Oh, he was an amazing
If you're
fighter.
actually a fan of the Sweet Science, he's the dude who was. Muhammad Ali would have loved him.
But Muhammad
Ali was a lot of bravado, so maybe he wouldn't have. But he definitely, if you're going from a win at any cost perspective, he was the best at that.
We're talking about Floyd?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
no, I'm
and
not
also has been hit way. Muhammad Ali might have said go out there with more heart or whatever, but Muhammad Ali spent the last 20 years of his life shaking and not being able to say anything. Floyd Mayweather has been hit in the head remarkably few times for someone who's had 52 fights or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I think he well, technically, I guess he has. I forgot who he fought at the. I don't think the Conor McGregor fight counted towards his record, or at least it fucking shouldn't have.
That was an exhibition fight.
It should have been, but people still paid through the fucking yin to watch that for some stupid
Exhibition fight doesn't have anything to do with what people pay. It just matters.
No, but people still paid for it.
I don't think.
It counted.
I
towards
don't
his
know
professional
that
boxing
it
record.
had anything to do with titles changing hands or anything like that.
No.
If Conor McGregor beat him, I don't know if Conor McGregor would have suddenly become the IBA champion or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the other. See, now that's where boxing got all fucked up. Is when they split all the belts. It's like the WBF, the IBF, the WB's, whatever.
It's sort of always been like
WBA.
that.
Yeah, but it got worse. I think I want to say it really kind of got out of hand in the 80s at some point.
I think that all of those belts already existed. It's just in the 80s, all of them started being broadcast at the same time. So somebody could claim champion of the world. You had 4 or 5 people claiming champion of the world, and previously that would have been a regional thing. But now you have 4 people claiming champion of the world on TV at the same time, and it cheapens it in some people's eyes.
Yeah, well,
but I don't. They didn't split the belt up. Those belts all existed at at once, and then it all became widely. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I think that there were less belts at one point. But here's what I will say.
I'm not saying that people also may have like started new belts around that time, and
yeah.
I'm sure that organizations split up. And
well, that gets into the shady aspect of like one, like you have to like when you're the like say you're the the IBF middleweight champion, right? And you have to fight. You're contracted to fight certain contenders.
That's the whole idea of like uniting the
clans,
the belts. They're various boxers over time have said like I'm gonna get the belt for the IBF, the W whatever, and I'm gonna get all 3 or 4 belts and be the undisputed,
right, the undisputed.
World champion of the belt, unified, blah blah blah.
By the way, shout out Marvin Hagler, who recently passed away from Brockton.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, marvelous Marvin, fucking hell of a boxer.
Fucking, he gave so much to us
in the city of Brockton
and
in Kirby.
We really hope that you.
Kirby lives in Brockton. That's all the only reason I'm saying that.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Fucking loved watching your fights.
Yeah. Really did. That said, yeah, we can pivot away from boxing, but like the promotional aspect of it though, like real quick. Like there's like Golden Boy and then there's Top Rank, I think, and they don't really, they don't jive. As a result, you don't get the fights that you want to see, like when you actually want to see them. Because if one of their boxers loses,
well, it all has to do with where the money's going.
Right, because they make less money. Like that's the reason why we had to wait so fucking long for
well, when you see a guy who's going, I'm gonna unite the belts. All of a sudden, there's fucking 3 or 4 different organizations that are trying to get paid off of this one boxer.
Yeah,
that's the reason that they operate their own shit in the first place.
It's almost like the comedy scene.
Comedy, stripping, boxing.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
No, really. Like, I mean, we could probably sit down with, like, if you combine the lives of, like, strippers and musicians, that's a comedian's life right there. Like, amongst other things.
With a little bit of boxing.
Yeah, with a little bit of boxing, because most of... Although I don't think we're as dumb as the average boxer. I just think we're...
Wow.
No, we don't get punched in the head for a fucking living. We get punched in the soul.
Don't you think boxers get punched in the soul?
I think...
And then we cut off right there.
Right. Yeah. No.
What are these flashes out the window yet? Someone's getting shot out there.
You do acid?
No. No, there's legit flashes out the window. I don't know what it...
I love it when the shiny thing happens. And then we talk about it on the mic and people are like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. All they know is that there's flashes going out somewhere. At some point, guys, we are going to take a... when we do this Austin trip, I will come up here and vlog so you guys, like, understand, like what we're talking about. When we start the vlog for the Austin trip, I will come up here and show you all what Dylan's apartment looks like. Hopefully, his mom will not have been here the day before, so you get like the full, Monty of what it can look like, depending on how much woodworking he's done.
No, I'm gonna keep it clean from now on.
And that is a bold-faced lie. Under promise, over deliver.